Hello dear all. In this presentation we discuss cure and recovery, which is a chapter in Stuart Close's philosophy, Genius of Homeopathy. So basically before we progress further with our discussion, let's be clear in our minds what is cure and what is recovery, the basic difference. The fundamental difference between the two is cure is based on laws and principles, and here it is based on law of similia, and recovery, it is not based on any law. So recovery can take place without medicines, it can take place with the improved diet and rest, it can take place with some empirical medicines, so on and so on. So the basic fundamental difference is cure is based on laws and principles, and recovery is not based on any law. So we go further. So here the various points are discussed in the chapter. The first point is the recall of medical profession. Means what? First time in history homeopathy has given new meaning to the word cure. So Dr. Hahnemann was very much insisting upon how the cure should be. So, homeopathy used scientific principles for effecting a cure. Medication was used for homeopathic cures. So, we are administering the similimum to effect the cure. So, cure is called as ideal cure by Dr. Hahnemann. It should be gentle cure, it should be rapid cure. Cure is effected in homeopathy by similimum, by single dose and minimum dose. So no question of mixtures, no questions of hazardous strong doses, no question of opposite medicines. So in homeopathy, cure is based on, first most important, the scientific principle, the law of similia, the new idea. So it is with reference to the new idea which Dr. Hahnemann introduced in the field of medicine. So, in aphorism number 1, Dr. Hahnemann said, physician's high and only mission is to restore the sick to health and to cure, as it is termed. So, he measured all the theories, systems, and methods. And like what theories? The isopathy, antipathy. He also assessed the various methods like tolecosm, primacosm morbi, derivation, etc., which were practiced at his times. But he asked the question, do they cure? So, do they ever cure? So, what is going on? Applying leeches, venisections was very much practiced at his times. And what was the situation? The patient was more driven to the misery. So the physicians claimed that they are curing. They claimed tolecosm means they are removing the cause of the disease and they are removing the disease. So the all of us by the time now know that this was a total materialistic approach of the old school, that remove the material cause of the disease, remove the visible disease. So remove the material cause means what? Remove the whatever the, say for example, if pleural effusion, remove the effusion. If it is ascites, remove that fluid. If it is very much ulcer, then clean the ulcer and apply the ointments, uh, lo- apply various ointments, lotions, and otherwise go for any surgery if required. And visible pathology, right from warts, corns, tonsils, whatever is there present visible and in the form of enlargement, remove it. That was the way the medicine was practiced. So Dr. Hahnemann, very much dissatisfied with such method, he asked that are these methods curing the patient? So what is the answer? All these methods made the patients more worse. Principles, not precedents. So the cure was based on easily comprehensible principles in homeopathy. They are logically deducted from the facts. So the law is logically deducted from the fact. Facts belong to the field of research. So the law is outcome of research. So law is the scientific law and which is based on logic. And what is logic? It is again science of reasoning. So greatest truth is always simple. It is simple to understand. What is art in homeopathy? It is a practice guided by correct principles. So art is what? Art is a practice guided by the correct principles. It is the supreme work of reason and intelligence actuated by a sense of beauty. So it is an artistic sentence which is mentioned in the book. So what is art meant by? The physician is taking the case taking for the patient. And what is the difference in the case taking in homeopathy and in the modern medicine? Modern medicine considers most important is the measurement of temperature, pulse, respiratory rate, blood pressure of the patient. All these are the clinical assessment of the patient, and this has got nothing to do with the patient's mental state, his physical generals. So, what is the situation in homeopathic case taking? Homeopathic physicians gives utmost importance to patients' mental generals and physical generals. And why does he give so much importance to this? Because the disease begins from the center. And what is the center? Center is mental generals and the physical generals. So the center is very near to the general symptoms of man, or man is very near to these general symptoms, and these general symptoms are not visible. So Dr. Kent also mentioned that disease originates in the invisible interior of man. So here also the physician is practicing art. And what is that art? To find out patients' invisible symptoms. And what are these invisible symptoms? Nothing but mental generals and physical generals. And why do we want to find out these mental generals and physical general symptoms? Because the disease begins from these. So homeopathic case taking is an art because physician is perceiving the patient and he perceives the patient with sense of mind. Thus, potentization of natural drugs and making them harmless, active and potent, and this potentization gives the latent curative power is aroused from the medicines, and thus the physician practices the art by administration of the similimum which is potentized and which is matched with the totality of the symptoms. So homeopathy is art and science. Science we already saw, it is the law of similars. So it is having the scientific basis. Art is not imitation of nature. And what do we understand by this? Vital force is without reason and it is without insight or reflection. Natural cures, example septicemia, is recovered by accidental ingestion of the morbid pus, or splinter is removed by formation of pus. Snake bite venom is injected. For quick results, we must not use needles. We should administer medicines through natural channels. So examples of natural cures are that the nature itself produces pus around the splinter, and so that at one time when this burst out, splinter comes out. So this is the way that we are assisting the nature in order to cure the patient. So we should administer the medicines through natural channels. Distinction between cure and recovery. The very first slide I told you the distinction means the difference is cure is based on law. Failure to distinguish between the cure and recovery endangers confusion of thought. It leads to pernicious practices. Natural recovery may be palliation. It is not true cure but only recovery. So, recovery is palliation, and what is cure? Cure is based on law, and the cure takes place from center to periphery. So, homeopathy removes the cause, and causes are in the center. So, cure takes place from center. Cure is always result of art and is never brought by nature. So nature aided or unaided always brings recovery under the operation of natural laws. So if you remember that in 6th edition of Organon, Dr. Hahnemann mentioned that he observed natural cures. For example, ophthalmia removed by smallpox and orchitis removed by mumps. So these are natural cures which took place. But the smallpox remains and also mumps remains. And how this will be cured? Is it that the patient will have to wait for another similar stronger disease to remove smallpox or mumps? So this is not the expected cure. So similar cure takes place in homeopathy when you are administering a stronger similimum. And the dose of this medicine is also in the hands of physician, and we can control the dose, and as soon as the stronger similar disease is produced, it is having limited period and it takes away along with it natural disease. So apart from homeopathy, sanitation and surgery, the real progress has taken in hygiene. Means what? This is assisting the recovery. But remember, cure is always based on the application of law of similars. And whatever the natural cures we see are not the real cures because the disease remains, right? As I told you earlier, the even smallpox removes ophthalmia, but then smallpox stays in the patient, which is more fatal, more dangerous. What is the definition of recovery? It is spontaneous return of patient to health after removal, disappearance or cessation of the exciting causes and occasion of disease, or as a result of treatment which is not directly and specifically curative in nature. So recovery takes place by say rest, by improved diet, by improved hygiene, improved sanitation, or by some empirical medicines and which are not specifically curative in nature. Recovery is not based on any law. Recovery takes place because of existence of sufficient integrity of organs, inherent power of reaction in the patient to overcome the disease, and hygiene, mechanical, surgical treatment and sanitation. So recovery takes place even without taking the medicines due to the immune power which is there inherent in the patient, and this is also because of the integrity of organs, means the functioning of organs is very much at the very at higher level. So patient's vitality is at higher level, means it is due to his strong immune power, and all these factors such as hygiene, sanitation, surgical treatment improves patient's health. The expectant treatment is inadequate, means nature aided or unaided can't cope up successfully diseases such as cholera, pneumonia, diphtheria, typhus, smallpox, and it may take heavy toll in mortality even with drugs. Mortality is lowest under homeopathic treatment. So, for every disease, nature doesn't have the stronger similar disease. So, it is occasionally that natural cures are observed. For example, again, same I repeat, that is ophthalmia removed by smallpox. But nature doesn't have the option for every disease. The superiority of homeopathy is it has greatest trump over cholera. So homeopathy has won against the practice of modern medicine. The mortality rate of others, means with the old school treatment which we call today as modern medicine, was 40 to 70%, but with homeopathy it was only 4%. Homeopathic results claim greater results due to it is based on general principle or laws of nature. We can apply general principles to individual cases. It restores sick to health quickly, safely, permanently upon easily comprehensible principles. Relation of cure to disease. Disease is any departure from normal physiological action in the material constitution on the functional integrity of living organism. Means what? We consider disease is dynamic derangement of health. So this is in the simple form. So what happens during the stage of disease? It's a departure. So the patient does not experience normal appetite, normal thirst, normal digestion, right? So it is a departure. He goes away from the normal physiological action in the material constitution, means the body functions are now not functioning normally. Disease is primary a morbid dynamic affection of vital force causing loss of functional and organic balance. So it is a morbid dynamic affection of vital force. Cure is restoration of normal physiological action, dynamic balance, not the removal of products of disease, that is piles, dead tissue or pus. So removal of these products of disease such as piles, dead tissue or pus is nothing but materia peccans. What is cure? It is restoration of this normal physiological action by administration of the similimum. It is not the removal of the visible pathology. Cure is not just removal of primary causes, as effects may continue as secondary causes after the removal of primary cause. End products of disease and mechanical treatment. The tangible physical results means what? Tangible means palpable, okay, which can be felt by fingers. Tangible physical results of the disease. So, for example, liver is enlarged, or there are hemorrhoids, or there is ulcer, or there are warts, corns, or any type of eczema which can be seen and which can be felt by fingers. These tangible physical results of the disease, as thus defined, may disappear spontaneously when internal dynamic disturbance is removed by curative medication. So, this type of cure takes place in homeopathy. All these external palpable diseases, homeopath doesn't apply any solutions, lotions or ointments. Homeopath doesn't do this removal of corn or what. Homeopath doesn't cauterize corn or what. Homeopath doesn't remove the piles. But by the administration of the similimum, all internally all these visible pathology starts disappearing, and this is cure. The disease products which are visible are not the primary objective of homeopathic treatment. So, what is the primary objective of homeopathic treatment? The patient's general symptoms which are very near to him. They are the symptoms where the cause of disease has started invisibly, and physician with his art of case taking will consider and give importance to these general symptoms and later to these visible particular symptoms, and the general symptoms are the primary objective of homeopathic treatment. If the visible pathology is advanced, it may have to be removed mechanically as it is obstacle to cure. And another reason is, suppose for example ovarian tumor has enlarged and it's coming into abdomen, it is 2 to 3 kilos in size now, so it is not in nature to regress it. So at such stage, they act as obstacle to cure and should be removed mechanically. The object of treatment. The primary object of treatment is restoration of normal balance to health. The basis of homeopathic treatment is the totality of symptoms which represents the functional disorder. So, basis of homeopathic treatment is the totality of symptoms. This totality of symptoms is covering the patient's general symptoms as well as particular symptoms. And the most important are the general symptoms. And that is why we do analysis and evaluation, so that we identify which are most important uncommon characteristic symptoms, and they help in the choice of similimum. So, basis of homeopathic treatment is not the visible pathology but patient's general symptoms. Homeopath doesn't prescribe for the tumor. He treats the faulty morbid functional derangement, and products will take care of themselves. So, The faulty morbid functional derangement represents as the symptoms, and he will take the totality of symptoms and administer the similimum. The law of cure implied. When we achieve cure, it is due to law of similars. Nature tries to achieve cures. Again, example of ophthalmia is cured by smallpox. Some individuals had glimpses of the law, like the Hippocrates had mentioned this law long ago in 460 BC, in which year he was born. So around 5th century Hippocrates mentioned this law, but no one till Dr. Hahnemann worked on this law. The requirement of cure. It shall be the result of the direct application of definite general principle of the therapeutic medication. The cure must be individual, not for the disease. No two cases of the disease are exactly alike. Difference in modalities always exist. So the cure must be individual and not for the name of the disease. No two cases of the same disease are exactly alike. So even if, say for example, we consider tuberculosis. One patient of tuberculosis which present with the appetite loss, evening rise of fever and hemoptysis. Another case of TB may present with the pleural effusion. Another may present with the hemoptysis, cough and fever. So the same disease presents in different symptoms. So there is differences in modalities also. The morphological factor, that means each individual has some tendency for predisposition inherent in his morphological constitution. Every individual has phenotype and genotype. Every individual's texture of hair is different, color of skin is different, color of eyes is different, right? So this is difference in the morphological constitution. This includes anatomical, physiological, functional, organic, normal or abnormal, and represents the individuality of the patient. So patient's height will be different. So the patient's structure, body build will be different. So the difference is anatomical, physiological, functional and organic, normal or abnormal. It represents the individuality of the patient. So constitution must be studied with effects of endogenous and exogenous factors. Endogenous means which are present inside, that is in the system of patient, which are due to inheritance or inherited characters of the individual from the parents, and exogenous factors are environmental factors. So constitution is the physical and mental makeup of the person, and it's a collection of endogenous and exogenous factors. The examination of the patient, that is done by case taking, and case taking is an art done by homeopathic physician. So characteristic symptoms in the totality is disease, and their removal is the object of the treatment. So the totality consists of what? The general symptoms and particular symptoms. In the process of evaluation, the mental generals and physical general symptoms stand highest. They are the objective of the treatment, and most important, the causes of disease begin here. The third requirement of ideal cure is complete and impartial collection and record of the facts which constitute the natural and medical history of the individual. Symptoms are individual, even of the same disease, take peculiar form. Patient's constitution, occupation, habits, social and domestic relations, idiosyncrasies, history of diseases, indisposition, all these give individuality to the case. Symptoms are the only perceptible evidence of disease. Every disease will be represented by symptoms. They take individual form with modalities, environment, personality, and predisposition of the individual. And owing to these above factors, such as different constitution, different occupation, different habits, different social domestic relation, or presence of idiosyncrasy, his past history, and his disposition, they all are responsible for the different picture of even the same disease in different individuals. Manner and direction of cure, all of you know it is from center to periphery. Life is a centrifugal force. It is externalizing, organizing spirit into matter. So here very important, let's understand this. So life is organizing spirit into matter. So spirit is what? It is vital energy of the person. So spirit is the vital energy, the dynamic form of life, and matter is body. So vital energy animates the body. And what is life? It is again a centrifugal force. It is said that the continuously the universe is governed by a central law. All the planets move in the fixed orbit from lakhs of years, and this is a continuous phenomenon. So universe is also governed by a superior energy, and we are a part of universe. So it is a normal vital process in case of human beings, and all the phenomena are taking place from center to periphery. So chronic disease progresses from surface to center, that is from skin to then the vital organs, because it is in nature to preserve the internal organs. So first the disease appears on the skin, but the cause is internal, the cause is in the center. So causes are in the center. The trend of modern therapeutics. Only recovery is possible by modern therapeutics because they are administering the whatever measures such as ointment, such as the say steam inhalation, such as any massage. All these are not based on any law or principle, and the medicines may be empirical, they can be based on any theories, and the theories are ever changing. Removal of external manifestation by surgery or local ointments is very commonly done. Dr. Hahnemann, homeopathy and law of similars lost its sight in the dazzling accomplishment of modern surgery and laboratory results. The individuals want instant result. So whatever visible pathology, the individual patient is happy when we are removing it, which is the practice in modern medicine, not in homeopathy. Homeopathic medicines given by natural roots on the tongue, the sweat pills are very much having the dynamic power which will again restore the disordered vital force. So that was a discussion on cure and recovery. Thank you.